Welcome. I'm in Costa Rica. Now I've found a really inexpensive place to stay and I have friends that I'm visiting here. So it worked out really well. And so we'll be doing our training from Costa Rica for the next 2 months. Today we're going to start with our regular preparation work. I'm just massaging out with the massage ball a few areas. And we're going to work on doing lunges. Lunges are an excellent way for full body strengthening, and people often can't do them very well. So I'd like to spend the time and just figure out how you can best get the benefit of doing that particular exercise. So against the wall, you would just face the wall. A door frame is really good, or a corner. I don't have that available here, but if you could put the ball just below the collarbone, in between the collarbone and first rib. And we want to massage out the pectoral muscles. And if you bring the arm up this way, around the corner, it works really well. And then you can go across the tendons of the pecs that attach to your arm to the humerus around your rotator cuff joint. Okay, and now we'll switch to the other side. And you see you want to have your head turned away from the ball. And you have the head angled down so you don't get tension into the neck. And as always, with the soft tissue work, if it's particularly sore someplace, then you can work into that. The trigger points or knots. And then you would bring the arm come up like this around the corner. It's hard for me to do that here. Okay, and next we'll use the ball in the bottoms of the feet. And I like to do two things. First, just massage around in your plantar fascia, kind of loosely and gently to get some circulation into your feet. And then more specifically, press into the ball in different areas where you might be a bit stiff or sore. If you have a spot on your heel that's really sore, I wouldn't do that. Don't press on that one. That is often caused by the plantar fascia not being the proper tension. Okay, other foot. Just first massaging around a bit loosely. And then if you find areas where it's particularly sore, just press into it. Specifically, I like to make sure I work on the forefoot and you wrap your toes around the ball. I'm at a place, a village called Playa Hermosa. It's on the northwest coast. And just about half a mile or not even a mile down the hill, there's a roadway and there's a wonderful beach. It's really worth visiting. Okay, and now we're going to go to the floor and you'll need a few things. The massage ball and a foam roller or rolling pin and some kind of a yoga strap. This is a karate belt or an Afro belt, something like that. So just to explain the first, actually, let's just stand up again if you don't mind. I apologize. Today, normally we do lying down, but here I've got this ball. I'm going to demonstrate when we work on the shoulders, okay? In the upper trapezius is here. So you can do this against the wall where you put the ball here at the top of your shoulder, and you take the feet forward from the wall and lean back. The place where I live in Lakefield in Canada, the walls aren't strong enough, they break, so I can't do this. And it's better on the floor because you can get more pressure, but it also works really well. The floor is quite uncomfortable and it's a lot easier. But to get around the upper traps, you see, you have to take the feet forward and lean back into the ball. Okay, so next we'll take the ball a little lower. You'll stand closer to the wall, bring the arm across your chest, and you can move side to side, particularly around the edge of the shoulder blade. really critical area there. And that arm that you're working on, if you bring it around at the front, around across the chest, the subscapularis muscle you can have access to, and all the different rotator cuff muscles. Okay, that was really good. Now we'll put the ball on the other side, just at the base of the neck, and slightly to the side, and then cross fiber. So you're going actually longitudinally along your upper trapezius. And the ball a little bit lower. And bring that arm across the chest. So you can work between the shoulder blade and the spine. And you can, if you find a spot that's really sore, you might just press into it a little. Yeah, so often people ask me, should you go side to side, up and down, whatever. It's all excellent. Just want to release some of that tension that accumulates and prevent the hunches in our backs. We're sitting rounding over computers part of the day. We get hunched up there. Okay, now we're going to work on the hips, the glutes. And the pattern that I like to do is you start here. So here's your femur, has your leg bone, and right here's the top of the femur. And then right around here, we want to go around the trochanter at the top of the femur here. And that's the socket where your leg sits into. And then we'll go down like this by the tailbone. And here's the sacrum in the middle. And we'll go up along the edge of the sacrum. And then out along this bone, the top of the pelvis, the iliac crest, back to the outside. So we're going around the perimeter, you could say, of your hip joints. So we'll start on the left side, outside of hip. And not so much up high. I mean, we're going to come back to that after. Lower down by your leg, where the bone of your leg, you'll feel it. Okay, and then we'll go a little lower, where your leg inserts into your hip joint. And then turn toward your back to the wall with the ball beside the tailbone in that area, and you'll lean forward into it. And animals often do this, right? The cat walks beside the chair, and they'll do this with their hips. They'll stick their hips back into the chair. See, dogs do that. They even drag themselves along the ground. I see them doing that. Okay, and now up along the edge of the sacrum. So it's right here, not in the middle, slightly to the side. And there's a wedge, a bony wedge. The piriformis muscle attaches to this one. And the sciatic nerve goes through the piriformis muscle. So if it's sore there, you should work into it. A little higher and then out along the edge of your pelvis. The iliac crest. And out to the outside. So now this is a little higher up into the hip. And there, everybody gets sore here, gluteus medius muscle mostly. All right, now we'll do the other side. So you stand sideways. So we're starting low, just at the top of the femur. Okay, and then toward the back, the bottom edge of the head of the femur, and towards the tailbone. I've been backpacking. I walk from here down to the beach, and some parts of it are quite steep. I carry my weights with me. It's really fun. So I take about 20 pounds down and a couple stretchy bands, and every day, I do a few things, and people are, oh, that's such a good idea. This is the most beautiful gym, and it truly is that. Okay, now up along the edge of the sacrum. And the iliac crest, so that's the rim of your pelvis here, and then turn side. Again, a lot of people will find a line, the tendons of the glutes that attach that will be sore. So just take your time over it. It won't completely release, but this will start the process, and then as we're working, it'll get better and better. Okay, so next we're going to do just a few things on the floor with the ball. First is to massage out the back of the neck. So here's the base of the skull. And you put the ball in different spots along the base of the skull and just put a little bit of pressure down. Basically, you want to follow the base of the skull between one ear and other ear. The temperature's been about 93 every day, and it's been sunny every day. This is the dry season in Costa Rica. Okay, so I like to hold the ball in place and just work along the edge of your skull. And later on in the day, you might spend more time. And now work on the other side. Perfect. So next we'll put the ball in the back of the head. So right in the back of your skull, such that it helps your chin come down. And then we'll just nod gently to release your skull and the suboccipital muscles. And take a deep breath and just relax your shoulders. And then nodding gently. And a breath. And now eyes, only the eyes look up and down, not moving the head. And take a breath. And eyes go up and down. And a breath. Okay, and now we'll put the ball away. And if you can take the strap, and it goes under the right foot. So the right leg, set it so the knee is directly over the hip. The leg may or may not be totally straight. But then take the strap ends in the left hand and then around the back of the calf muscle into the right hand. And keeping the leg stiff, you rotate your femur in your hip joint. So we're just helping the femur internally and externally rotate. This should feel really easy, like no pain, nothing. And then unwind it and just a bit of a stretch here. And if it feels restricted, then we just need to do strengthening and other exercises to align your hip joints. Okay, switch. Okay, so left foot, strap in right hand, take it around the back of the calf into the left hand, flex the foot, and rotate the femur. And unwind the strap and just a gentle stretch. So generally, next thing I would do is a broomstick maneuver to help align the pelvis. I haven't been able to find one. I mean, there are brooms, but they're all plastic. I don't like those plastic kind. So we're going to today do this one. This is very common, right? It's called figure four. So you take the right ankle and put it over the left knee. And now the lower back. So just think of your lower back for a moment before you lift the leg. Your lower back should have a slight arch, just a bit of an arch. Shoulders are centered and level on the floor. Okay, don't round. And chin is tucked in. Brace your abs and then bring that system closer to you, keeping the right foot flexed. The left knee should be directly in line with the hip. Don't let the knee go in. People often twist in different areas, and your lower back should not be flat on the ground, on the floor. You should always maintain your neutral spine angle. What usually happens is people flex the spine instead of working in the hip joint, or twist the knee. Okay, switch sides. Feet down, left ankle up above the right knee. Pull the right knee up toward you. Do not twist your left knee. Keep your neutral spine angle. Chin down. So left knee, yeah, it's out to the side, but be sure that knee should not be twisted. So however you arrange yourself, make sure the back of the hips are level on the floor. Don't lean to the side. Okay, and release. Great. Okay, so next, arms out like a Y position, palms face up. Imagine a stability ball on your abdomen, and we'll wrap the arms and legs around it, and then we'll just rock side to side. And rest. Okay, and we're going to do core training later, so from here we'll turn onto the right side. Take the left leg forward, so you're lying on the right side, and the right leg goes behind you, back. With your left hand, reach toward the right foot. Right hand on the left knee. This is our spinal rotation position. The left shoulder is back, the left knee is forward, and they should both be the same heights from the floor. So you have to avoid just rolling the knee forward. Okay, now let's turn on to the other side. Left leg straight, right knee take over to the left, right hand reach back toward the left foot, left hand on the right knee, chin toward the left shoulder, and just think right shoulder is back, and right knee forward, the same heights from the floor. Okay, and lying on the back. Now we're going to do a neck strengthening exercise. You can have your hands either on your abdomen or under the lower back. This is to help strengthen the muscles in the front of your neck so your head doesn't fall forward. Right leg is bent, left leg straight. Imagine someone's pulling you from the top of your head, like a string attached to the top of your head, pulling straight back to the wall behind you. Then pull the chin toward the throat. If you can do it, you lift the elbows, and if you can do it, lift the head, but the chin must stay toward the throat. And release. And lengthening the spine first, chin in, elbows lift, and head lift if you can. It's not about how high you lift the head. Importantly, the neck, the cervical spine in your neck should be lengthened. And rest. Once more, lengthen, chin in, elbows, head lift. Only if you can keep the chin into the throat. Rest. And the neck in its lengthened position. Left leg up and right leg is straight. Okay. First, reach from the top of the head, chin in, elbows lift if you can, and head lift if you can. And rest. And lengthen, chin in, elbows up, and head up. And rest. And one more time, reach, chin, elbows, and head up, and hold. And rest. Okay, quickly, we're going to go through that series again, the strap in the right foot. And this time, the knee stays over the hip, and we're just doing a stretch here. For the purposes of what we're trying to accomplish here, you don't need to pull your leg closer to you. We don't want to overstretch the back of your knee. Foot is flexed. Best is if you feel this up into your hip, in the glutes. It depends on if your calves are tight or if your hamstrings are tight. Switch legs. So right leg is down, left leg, knee over hip. And just stretching. Keeping the knee directly over the hip. Okay, and strap down. Okay, feet on the floor, right leg, right ankle over the left knee. And then bring the left knee toward your chest. Right hand on the outside of the knee. Okay, now lower back. Lower back should be neutral. Only do what you can, keeping the bit of arch in your lower back. Do not allow your back to round. And then you'll set your hips optimally. Okay, and rest. So left ankle over the right knee. Bring the right knee toward you, keeping the knee in line with the hip. The back of the hips should be centered on the floor. Avoid leaning to the right side. Keep the left foot flexed and be sure you don't allow the knee to twist. Unwind. Great. Okay, Y position with the arms. And cradle rock position. This time we'll rock to the left and hold there. And rock to the right and hold. Okay, and center. Lying on the right side. So left leg forward, right leg goes back, and left hand reach toward the right foot. And balance out, the left shoulder is back and left knee forward. Okay, and now turn to the other side. Okay, and rest. Okay, so next we're going to roll out the quadricep muscles. That's the muscles in the front of the legs. So you can use a rolling pin. I don't have a foam roller here, but I found a rolling pin yesterday. So you can just like this, roll out your quads, sit in a chair. You should do the inside and outside of the legs as well. I'm going to use this as a foam roller. So I'm going to start on the right leg, just above the knee. So both elbows are on the floor. And as you're rolling gradually, incrementally up your leg, you can turn your leg in different angles. So you're more on the outside of the quads and the front of the quads and the inside of the quads. And be sure to get into the front of the hip and also on the TFL here on the outside of the hip. Okay, and now we'll switch sides. So left leg just above the knee. And gradually work your way up the leg. Always looking straight down into the floor. If you look up, that will hyperextend your neck. Okay, and then the front of the hip and the outside of the hip. All right. Okay, from here, we're just going to do a little bit of bird dog so we get our spine strengthening working. And then we'll begin with lunges. Oh, actually, there's one more thing, but let's do bird dog first. So you're like this on hands and knees. And we'll be going opposite arm and leg lift. So what to be careful of is as we're lifting, opposite arm and leg lift together, is that you don't want your back to go rounding like that, or it shouldn't be arching. So in preparation, we'll just do a few times this cat-cow, rounding and arching very gently, just to help separate the vertebrae. Okay, so let's begin. So we're going to start with right arm and left leg lift. Holding 10 seconds, we'll do that 3 times. Shoulders down from the ears, press the hands into the floor. You're looking straight down into the floor. Right arm, left leg, slide out and lift. The left foot should be flexed and the leg straight. Down and lift. I like to externally rotate the shoulder, the right shoulder, so the palm of the hand is facing up. Down and lift. And rest. So if you want to try it this way, when you take the arm out, you rotate out like that, so the palm is facing up and the thumb is pointing out to the side. If if that's restricted for you, you just go in that direction. Shoulders down from the ears, press into the floor. Left arm, right leg, slide out. Straighten both. So left hand, palm up, thumb pointing out to the side. And down. Again, lift, slide out, and lift and hold. Keeping the hips level, shoulders level. Down and lift, last one. And rest. Okay, now to prepare the feet to do the lunges. Next, we're going to sit on the floor. And if it's not comfortable for you to sit on the floor, you can sit in a chair. And you just do toe scrunches first and then ankle circles. So we're just going to do scrunch and spread the toes. So if you like, I wear toe spacers sometimes not. I do think they're helpful because they force your toes to work harder. They force your toes to stay apart, and the muscles get stronger because you're not allowing them. It's like when we do weightlifting, sometimes we do narrow grip, sometimes wide grip. Feet particularly, we want wide. Okay, next we're going to do circles with the ankle. So you just go circle in. Slow circles, full range of motion through the ankle joint. And as you do that, you definitely want to spread the toes. Let's go the other way. We're just doing a little bit of this to get ready for lunges. Another day, I think last week we did a more extensive plantar fascia series. Okay, so now we're going to stand up. And we're going to be doing 8 sets of 10 repetitions, but in different angles. So first, let's just go over quickly what is a lunge. We're doing reverse lunges. Forward lunges are when you go like this, you step forward. That's a lunge. A reverse is when you step back like that and then step forward. So we'll be just basically step back and forward. You don't have to go low. This is really critical. Just like that, you can go just like this, okay? But there are a few things to pay attention to. The front leg, for your knee joint, if you can keep the knee like this over the ankle, then you won't put pressure into the kneecap, especially at this point. So only step back as far as you can. You can practice with me such that that knee stays over the ankle. The other thing with the knee is that people let the knee shift laterally and medially. So when you step back, the knee should be centered. The knee shouldn't go mostly in. That should not happen. You always want knee centered over the ankle for this. The back foot, I'm going to go through all of these things. I'll mention it later. The back foot. Why people get knee pain is they often go like this. They go out toe, and then when you lunge like that, see this knee, you're pushing off and overstretching the inside of the knee, so people get weak knees, essentially. So when you step back, the foot, the knee, and toes, the back foot toes are angled forward, okay? Now, the back of the knees, when people step back, people often flatten the heel. I'm not going to do that, but people often flatten like that. And you overstretch, essentially, the back of the knee, again, weakening the knee. So when you're doing a lunge with load, you want to have the heel up, and when the knee bends. The most important thing to remember, the primary moving group is the glutes, okay? It's the muscles in your butt. It's not this. Your quads are working, your whole body is working, true. But main muscle group is glutes. If you don't do that, then all the pressure goes into your kneecaps and your knees break down and you get weak hips. And this is just a more vivid example of why in our culture we have so many knee and hip problems because our glutes are not strong enough and we're not using them when we need to be. All right, so here we go. We're doing sets of 10 in different angles, so you get all different angles of rotation through your joint systems. The position of the weight is like this. You have the weight in the hand and the elbows by the side, and your hand is right in front of your shoulder. Okay, so you're just going to hold it like that, not like that. Just have it here. That will help you stabilize your rotator cuff, and you'll get better core support. We're starting with left hand has the weight. Okay, so standing tall, the elbows by the side, comfortably, chin is in, brace your abs. Left leg will step back. Before you start, engage your right glutes, left leg goes back and forth. We're doing a set of 10 at your pace. And rest. And I always like to put the weight down. If you don't do that, you tend to carry imbalance into the next set. So in each repetition, I would stand up all the way, get stable before you do the next rep. Okay, right hand has the weight. You're standing tall, chin is in. Brace your abs. Engage your left glutes. Right leg back. And rest. Okay, so next, again, the right hand has the weight. So it's the same arm, but the other leg. Right hand, elbow in, chin in, standing tall. Left leg goes back. Be careful of the right knee diving in. And rest. Okay, left hand with the weight. The other benefit of lunges is, cardiovascularly it's demanding. Get ready. Bone density building. Left hand has the weight. Left glutes engage. Right leg back. And rest. All right, excellent. Good for you. Okay, and then walking around a bit for recovery. So that was one series. We're going to do that again one time. But this time, if you want to, You might use a heavier weight. The weight will be held down low. If you have pain with your knees or hips or something, and repetitions might not be the best for you, you may need to just do holding. So you could do this. Okay, so if you really can't do lunges, you don't feel good that it's good for your joints, you can just begin by doing holds. So it would look like this. You'd have the weight in one hand, step back, and hold. Or do no weight. Just make sure you have good position, hold. I would do 10 seconds, 10-second holds, then switch to the other side, 10 to 30-second holds. But today we're going to keep going with the reps. But to build up your overall leg strength and ability, like I said, the holding positions are perfect. So this time I'm getting a 25, I was just using 15. When we do reverse lunges where the weight is down, what you mostly have to be careful of is leaning forward. So usually people go like this, they like that, you lean over, and then your whole body weight jams up in your front knee, okay? So just be really careful, stay upright, use your core strength. Left hand has the weight. The weight is just hanging like this in front of the hip. Chin in, brace your abs, right glutes engage, left leg goes back. Okay, and rest. Right hand has the weight. Standing tall, chin in, brace your abs, left glutes engage, right leg back. And rest. Okay, then again, the right hand will have the weight, but this time the weight is down by the side, not in front. So same arm, but switching legs, standing really tall, chin in, right glutes engage, left leg goes back. And rest. Okay, last set. Left hand with the weight. The arm is by the side, standing tall, chin in, brace your abs, left glutes engage, right leg back. And rest. And weight down. Okay, that was fantastic. Good for you. Like I said, it's hard for people to do them well. And then most people don't like it because it's a challenge, but there are just so many benefits. And you know, our legs are not getting strong enough. We get weaker and fall down. We don't want that to happen. Yeah, so thanks a lot. That was great. Next thing for upper body strengthening, today we're going to do carries. So today a lot of lifting. The more that you hold on to a weight or something heavy, the more you'll build up your bone density. So we're just going to do weight carries. The first set, you can carry the weight like this, just the way we just had it, like that, if that's okay for you. Or the first set, I like to go overhead. So we're going to give that a try. If that's not comfortable for you, like I said, you can just carry at shoulder level, or you can just carry the weight down low. The point is to carry on one side for your core training. We're starting with a light weight, and if you can lift overhead, fine. If not, just at the level of the shoulder. I'm counting 30 steps, so it is quite extensive. Left arm hold. And forward and back. So you see, I don't have very much space. So you just walk a few steps forward, a few steps backwards, rather than going in circles. Obviously, you want the feet to be tracking forward. And this is really excellent for spine strengthening in that the loading and rest. Because the weight is on one side, there's a diagonal vector, and then you carry the weight on the other side, other diagonal. So the forces across the spine equalize. So it's good for evening out your spinal alignment. Right hand. So shoulder level overhead. Or you can do all of this with the arm down by the side. We're doing 3 positions: overhead, shoulder, and low. And obviously this will strengthen your whole body. Don't do that. Rotator cuff. Your core strength, your feet. Yeah, I see. And rest. Okay, so next we're carrying like this with the weight at the shoulder level. Just moving over the camera. Angle. Hope that's okay. We have a longer distance here. Okay, so left arm, shoulder level, and same idea. We're just walking forward and backwards. And always thinking of standing up tall. Be sure you're not leaning forward and slouching. And rest. And then we'll switch right hand. And if you pay attention, you go to the feet so that you get heels outside the feet and toes as you walk forward. Toes outside of feet, heels. So it should be baby toe to big toe. Push off the big toe forward. And when you go back, don't worry about it, you'll just do it correctly. Okay, so next we're doing the weight down low. So this time you may again use something heavier, exactly how we did the lunges. Be sure that you don't roll the shoulder forward. You want to rotate the shoulder back a little as you carry left arm. And chin in, standing straight. Good. And just walking. And depending on how heavy the weight is, when it's low like that, you try not to lean to the side too much with your body weight. But if it's heavier, you definitely will. But you are definitely counterbalancing that force of the weight. So this is really good rotational core training. Okay, and rest. And right arm. So before you start walking, stand really tall, chin in, shoulders slightly back. This is a really efficient way to help build your bone density and also to help with your basic alignment because you're evening out your right and left sides through your entire body. Okay, and the weights down. Okay, so that was a lot of weightlifting. So let's finish off with just a bit of core training. So we'll go down to the floor and you'll need a mat. And just your body. Or maybe you don't need a mat. I like the floor actually. Part of the floor. So we're going to start with the stabilization work. So first for the anterior core, the abdominal muscles. My favorite is just this dead bug position. The arms straight up to the sky and the elbows bent at a 90-degree angle. The legs up so the knees are over the hips. And then you push one leg a few inches forward and hold. And bring the leg back and the other leg a little forward and hold. And back and other leg. You see, if you stabilize like this, your abs have to work harder. If you just move back and forth a lot, people tend to not really use their abs, they just use momentum. So just continue at your pace, alternating one leg forward, then the other leg. And make sure that lower back, right? You have to always have neutral spine, slight arch lower back, not flat to the floor. And as you're moving the legs, your back shouldn't be arching. You should always maintain that same integrity in the lower back. All right, that was great. Okay, so next we're going to do the side bridge. So I like to do, even if you're a super expert, you might join us with this one for today. It's a baby side bridge. So we're on the left elbow. So the shoulder is directly over the elbow, 90-degree, and I like to make a fist. If you have your hand face down, if the palm of your hand is facing the floor, it'll torque your elbow joint. So best if you have a fist, the baby finger side on the floor, elbow on the waist. And the action is not to lift up like that and curve, but rather bring the hips forward and then lift the knee if you want to hold. You have to be sure the hips are already through. We're doing 30-second hold on each side. This section of training is core training, but also spinal stabilization. Earlier, we were doing more spinal alignment work, and now we're doing more stabilization of the spine. Okay, knee down and back. Bring the right hand to the floor. Bring the hips up a few inches. Bring the right knee down. Then hands and knees. And right elbow down. This transition is a part of the training. Okay, so we're on the right elbow, left elbow on the waist. Press the elbow into the floor, the right elbow. Hip hinge forward. And left knee up if you can. It's a weird angle. And rest. Okay, now we're doing a double leg lift. And this is for the oblique muscles as well. So you just lie right down on the side, both legs are straight. And then have this hand on the floor, the left hand on the floor. Brace your oblique muscles here on the waist and lift the legs, but using the obliques in your waist. Shouldn't feel this in your legs or in your shoulder, in your neck. 100% all obliques, left side. Not lower back. That's your QL trying to help you out. And rest. There are all these little compensations we make when the primary muscles, if they're not strong enough, something else has to do the work, and then that's how we create so many imbalances. So now we'll turn on to the other side. So brace the waist muscles and lift both legs, but really again, your legs are just hovering. You shouldn't feel like they're doing anything, they're just hanging out. It's the muscles, your obliques, that are the moving primary strengthening group. Shoulders relaxed. And rest. Okay, and last time we'll do again one more time the dead bug. Arms and legs up. And you would, on a day when you were working on your spine strength stabilization, you would do this cycle 3 or 4 times through. Okay, elbows over shoulders, right leg push forward a little and hold. Leg back and left leg. Always maintaining the integrity of your lower back. Right. And left. And just continue at your pace. And do your best. You should not really be feeling this in your hip flexors or your quads. Just keep reminding yourself abs, abs, abs. Not neck, shoulders, neck, really very relaxed here. So today that was a little different kind of training session. I just really wanted to go over lunges one time. They are such a valuable tool for strengthening, but people really don't like doing them because of the challenge. And of course, that's what we need to do. So have a good day and hope to see you soon. See you next week. And time for the beach. Thanks very much. Bye.